Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead and time for supper. Last night Courtney and those guys came over and they got let's see, 5, 7, 9 more cucumbers. This doesn't exactly match for what I'm making for dinner tonight, but I thought, you know what, we're not going to let anything go to waste, so I got all my tomatoes chopped up, and there should be some more tonight or tomorrow. And I actually had another canning company approach me, and I am going to try out their stuff, and because I like the length of how long their lids and everything else last. So you'll see that hopefully tomorrow, well, tomorrow or Saturday. Anyways, so we're gonna get this salad put together. So now the first thing I want to do is, it says a half a cup of red onions. Now I'm just gonna slice these. I'm not going to dice them up. I had to actually take the whole center out of that because it was like growing another onion or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, so half of that should be enough. So we're going to do half of that onion. I'm going to do mine a little bit different. It says, you know, soak your cucumbers, all that good stuff first, but we're not going to do that. And I'm not going to cut just circles. I'm going to do mine in quarters. Or in halves, I should say. Sorry about that. Because sometimes, you know, when you just slice them like that, it's just a bit much, you know, to get a hold of a bite of it, and it's just too much. But I figured this would be a great way, and I've never seen this salad before, so I'm pretty excited about it. My other cucumber I had to actually cut down because it had a mark and was growing around the tomato cage. So it looked really, really funny. I could have probably done these in quarters instead of just slices too. Alright, let me get the other one cut up and I'll be right back. Alright, so let's get the dressing mixed up now. So first thing we need is, I hope this turns out really good too, by the way. We need a half a cup of sour cream. I'm going to put just a little bit extra in there because I think I have more cucumbers than what it's asking for, because it said 2 medium. 2 English cucumbers is what it says, and we're not using English cucumbers. Alright, so now it asks for 2 teaspoons of white vinegar. We're using apple cider vinegar because that's what I have in my refrigerator, and I don't have to pull that whole gallon out here. So you can make changes anytime you like. Make it what you want. Alright, and then it asks for, believe it or not, this is what made me excited about it, 3 tablespoons of everything bagel seasoning. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then it says pepper too. And I'll add a little bit of salt to it since I didn't do the salting of the cucumbers in the beginning. So I'll add just a little bit of salt to that too. I hope this is good because my son did get me to where I really like that everything bagel seasoning. So I'm hoping that this will taste as good as everything that I've had with that seasoning. Alrighty. You don't want to miss any of that seasoning. And sour cream makes everything better too, doesn't it? Alright, so let's get all that mixed in there. Now this does say to refrigerate it for at least a half hour before you serve it, which is not going to be a problem because it's only 2 o'clock and Tom doesn't get home till almost 5 or after. He is going to pick up something for me at the store today. It wasn't quite ready when I called, so he goes by there every night on his way home from work, so he can pick it up for me because it wasn't quite ready. It'll be my canning project for tomorrow. So we need to get jars up here tonight, get them washed up, all that good stuff. Get them ready for tomorrow. And hopefully stock up what I need for a year. You know, if you find stuff on sale and you can can it, freeze it, whatever, dehydrate it, you know, do what you can do so that you have that in your stock for a year or so. Or longer, whatever you need to do. Alright, well, I'm going to cheat. And I'm going to take a bite before we refrigerate it. Not even cold yet, and you guys, that is awesome. Awesome. Alright, I'm going to put it in the refrigerator so it'll be ready. Well, I figured while I was out here, why not do the prep I need to do for tonight for dinner? And then I won't put it together for a little bit here, till Tom gets home. Or gets closer. How's that? So I'm going to take a full red onion, and I'm going to slice those into thin slices. I cut the onion in half, which I think will work out perfect. And I'm going to separate these a little bit, because that's how I'm going to want them on my tray, is separated. Alrighty. Yes, I dropped an onion on the floor, and yes, I will clean it up. Then I'm going to use the rest of that onion that I just used for that salad too. I was just going to make a small portion of this today, but then I thought, you know, he's going to be working close to home tomorrow on that side job, so he can always come home for lunch, or hopefully he'll be done by lunch, but we got to go get our blood work done tomorrow, so he might get a later start. Then he has to go and pick up the part too. So, we'll see. But it'll be here for him for lunch. Or breakfast, whatever he decides. Because we have to fast for 8 hours before we take our blood work. So, yeah. Alright, so there's the onions. Got them all broke up. Most of tonight's dinner is just going to be prep. Now, we went out in the garden yesterday, and these are mine. Fresh from the garden. I got 2 of them. Mom's like, I don't think they're ever going to grow or change color. And then all of a sudden last week they started changing color. So that was pretty cool. And I want to do those in thin slices too. I don't know if we'll get enough for me to can or whatever, but this is probably the tallest ours has ever gotten, to be honest. And the most that we've ever gotten off of them so far. Usually they don't do so well. We're more like the tomato family that can grow tomatoes like crazy, but this year those are even really small. But like everybody says, it's probably due to the heat. And we got lots of rain for a while. I do have some that over next door that have some bottom rot. Not all of them, but some of them do. But none of them from up front do. So I don't know if I'll get 36 pints this year, but that's the goal. I'm so glad to see these turn yellow. I mean, really, I was so glad to see them turn yellow. Means it worked. We were almost tempted to just take them off, you know, and just use them green. And I'm like, no, let's give them some time. Let's give them some time. So let me get this cut up and I'll be right back. All right, so I also used an orange one that I had bought from Walmart too. So there's 3 of the peppers there. Then I'm going to take this chicken and I'm going to slice it thin. And because I was only going to use just a half a batch, I was only going to do just this chicken left from yesterday. But I decided, since I want to have it for leftovers too, that I got out some, this is breast, but I got out some thighs too. Cut that off of there. My niece said she hates when she sees channels that chop up chicken and they don't take the fat things off the side. So I can hear her voice in my head right now. I have those chicken thighs from where we went down to Bronson, which we're hoping to do that this Saturday if Tom gets everything done. The new store is open and they had some chicken stuff on sale, so we were thinking about going down there this weekend if he gets everything done. Alright, so let's get this chopped up too. This is still just a little bit frozen, but it'll be okay because it'll be about an hour before I start dinner anyway. So everything will have a chance to thaw out. And I know these pieces are smaller, but that's okay. It'll all mix in. It'll work. We can always make anything work. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so I'm going to get all that chicken cut up, and then I'll come back when we're ready to put everything together for dinner. Alright, so let's get dinner put together. So the first thing I'm going to do is put all those peppers on the pan. All that chicken on the pan. This is going to be full. And all those onions on the pan. And I actually decided I was going to change something at the end. I seen someone do on another video and I was like, yeah, let's do that. So now we're going to spray all of this with olive oil. They figure it's about 2 tablespoons full. I think that probably should be enough. And then I'm going to do a package of fajita seasoning, but you can make your own as well if you want to. My oven is preheating to 400. And then we're going to take that fajita seasoning and spread it all over everything. So now, instead of just being fajitas, they're actually going to turn out to be cheesy sheet pan fajitas. So now we want to mix everything together with the oil, the spices, everything. You want to get it all mixed together. Bring all that up in here too. Well, this is going to be beautiful. You know, it's something I never did until I had my channel. Never had fajitas before. But I have now, and they're good. How does that look? Oh, buddy. I forgot to bring me out another hand towel, so I guess I'll use a paper towel. Now we're going to put this in that 400-degree oven, which mine isn't quite 400 yet, but it will. And we're going to set it for 20 minutes. Now the next thing I wanted to do is I'm going to take a piece of aluminum foil and I'm going to take and open this first. Get a few people that complain I don't heat my tortillas up. Tom and I are not the biggest fan of heated up tortillas, so that's usually why I don't do it. Because I have to keep him happy on what he likes. Not what everybody else thinks he should like. But I thought, you know what, we can do this. So we're going to wrap those up. And when we pull those out of the oven and put them back in, then we'll slide 6 of those in there. If he wants more than that, then we'll just have to serve them regular. So I ended up cooking mine for 25 minutes because the chicken wasn't completely done. And you want your chicken to be done. So now you're going to stir this up a little bit. And get it all mixed in together again. Now if you don't want cheesy, you can stop right here. And break some of those pieces up. So we don't need great big huge chunks in there. Alrighty, now I'm going to add just my regular Colby Jack and put it over the top. Just like so. I hadn't thought about adding cheese until I watched another video, and I was like, you know, you end up putting cheese on them anyway, so why not have the cheese be melted in it? Alrighty. So now we're going to put it back in the oven for 5 minutes so we can let the cheese melt. And I'm going to put the tortilla shells in there as well for that 5 minutes. Alright, let's see how these turn out. Alright, so everything's nice and melty. Let's put it on our tortilla. Get a little bit of onion on there too. Alrighty. This is fresh out of the oven, so we'll see how hot that is. Huh. I'm going to let it cool down for just a minute. Alright, so let's give it a try. Oh, man. Those are really, really good. So, you can either have sheet pan fajitas or cheesy ones. Your choice. But Tom will be here shortly, and we'll meet you at the table. Well, hi, Tom.
Hello.
So there's your sheet pan cheesy fajitas.
Fajitas?
Fajitas. Those are our peppers, too.
Mmm.
What do you think about that?
I think that's wonderful.
Then I didn't want to waste our cucumbers either, so there is a new cucumber salad over there I made.
Mmm.
It's everything bagel. You want to try that too?
Sure. Of course, you know I gotta try the cucumber first, right? Oh, really good.
Alrighty. We're going to let the hungry man eat. You guys have a blessed night. Be a blessing, and goodbye, Tom.
Goodbye, Tom.
You guys have a wonderful night.